Hello there. All right, I just got finished watching episode 2 of Welcome to Derry, and wow. Okay, first of all, that was a very long episode, and it aired on Halloween, but trick or treaters and all that good stuff, I didn't get to watch it until like right now. But I was really looking forward to it because I was hoping to see more development in the story, and I got what I asked for. Like, we all know what happened in the last one. These kids are trying to figure something out, and they all got unalived in a theater in a very gory way, which was amazing. Um, and this episode just kind of like extends upon that. There wasn't gore per se in this episode, except for one scene, but it was more of like kind of like setting the stage. This is definitely an episode that's setting the stage for what the entire series is going to be about. And I was like sitting here and I'm like, they're really making these connections to like all Stephen King novels. Like, if you really sit down and start analyzing, if you're like me, you're such a huge Stephen King fan, you know what we're talking about. I mean, just even having Dick Halloran in here, hello, Shining. I mean, guys, if you know, you know. And then these connections between the characters and the characters being like, for example, Will Hamlin and Mike Hanlon, and guys, this is just such an amazing series. And then having this, even though it was a very long episode, just the explanation of everything that's going on, and that they're looking for something, and that they're wanting to use it as a weapon against other, I'm not going to say the actual word because the similarities to real life right now are just like, and then just seeing the development of how life was back then, even though life, back then was hard, seeing these weird factors mixed in, and just having this town of people who are just like walking around like zombies, almost like they're in a trance, like they see wrong and they don't do anything about it, just shows you the impact of this whole evil universe of Pennywise. And even if we haven't even seen Pennywise like for real pop up yet, we feel the presence. The presence is there. And even that scene with Ronnie in her bedroom, I was like holding my breath. I was like, I can't get out of there. And then having her come out of where she came out. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but you have to watch the episode. And then Henry Bowers is father, I'm assuming, just grandfather or father. I don't know yet. I got to look into that, but just the psychological turn that he was using with poor Lily, and then no adult there to kind of protect her and say, hey, this is not happening, that's my kid. It's just making everything seem so unfair, but it's part of the plot. It's part of the story of how I think someone's going to come together to try to see what this evil is. But my question is, if the Losers Club took care of it so many years in the future, what's going to happen to these characters now? That's my question, because I don't feel like there's going to be a heroic ending and they're going to defeat this evil. I feel like the evil's going to win, and we're just going to see these characters who are interconnected with future characters, or just the whole town, and other characters in the Stephen King universe. Now it's becoming a Stephen King universe, interconnected into all of these, things, which I happen to love the fact that everything is interconnected. Thank you, Stephen King. You are wonderful and amazing, and I hope this video gets to you. And just trying to figure out people's motives, like what happened with Hanlon. Like, what was the motive of him getting attacked? And then we see, and I felt when I saw him getting attacked, I felt that there was just something to it. It was just too mysterious, too kind of like, oh, we got who did it kind of thing. And I was like, I feel like this is some kind of test. Like, so, I mean, it is the army. And of course, like, the army is always into everything. No pun intended, maybe. And just seeing that development of, now we can trust you, now we can share with you what's really going on. And what is up with that car that, was found is, kind of, it's just so many questions that I have in my brain. Like, how is that going to turn out? What is that going to do? And then we get a sneak peek of the third episode. And I am just like, I'm down. I'm there. I'm going to watch it. I need to know what's going to happen. and then seeing also the development of the family relationships between, the Hanlons and how they're adapting to life in Derry, and his wife noticing like there's something wrong here, like what's going on, that people are not reacting to certain things. So that's definitely going to stir the pot, per se. And then Will Hanlon just having this Mike-esque kind of like feel, like he's a nerd, he likes scientific things. What's his role gonna be with everything? And even his new friend, what his role gonna be like? It's just there's just so much to take in, so much to analyze, so much to talk about. So let me know in the comments, guys, what are your theories? What do you think is gonna happen? And how is like Lily and Ronnie's relationship gonna grow? My thing is Marge at some point gonna kind of end up joining them? Because I feel like Marge kind of wants to be like a people pleaser, a joiner. She wants to be part of those patty cakes, whatever, Mean Girls Club. But I mean, what's her role gonna be? Is she gonna kind of like go back to Lily and to be friends again and join the gang, or is she just gonna be detrimental to the whole plot? Of maybe she's just not, right? Man, there's just so many, so much. And then what is up with Lily's mom? Like, she's just like drops her daughter off at Juniper Hills just like that. It's like, yeah, you're nuts, I don't want you. I mean, what is that about? I mean, the creepy smiles of the orderlies when she's trying to step out of the car, those creepy smiles, what? I feel like the presence of the evilness of what we now know as Pennywise, the whole creature, the whole thing, has this whole kind of veil over Derry, and it's impacting everyone, and everyone's kind of like underneath this whole mist of illusion, like nothing's really wrong, go on with your life, don't get involved kind of situation. And that's like really kind of derivative of like reality and what's going on. And you guys dig into it what you want, but we see so many similarities, right? And we know what we're talking about. Entertainment purposes only. So I'm just very invested now at the core plot, because if we're seeing like all of these characters intertwine, I want to see how it plays out. How is there going to be like an explanation of like how this evil came to Derry? Like, let's dig a little further. How did it come to Derry? Where did it come from? Maybe space, I don't know. Maybe another civilization, maybe interdimensional beings. There's just so much possibility right now, and I am just looking forward to that next episode. So why don't you guys let me know what you thought about this episode 2 of Welcome to Derry in the comments. Let's have a conversation. Give me your theories. What's up? What's going on? I'm definitely enjoying the series, so I'm gonna keep going with it. So, guys, do not forget to like and subscribe. And as always, from my heart to yours, put some love out into the universe. I'll see you in the next one.